Hi everyone, Edna Kimble, Edna Sells, Century 21 Wright Real Estate, and welcome to today's episode where we have a very special guest. I'm going to embarrass her because she's my girl crush. You didn't know that, did you?
No, I am gonna blush.
I think I'm like one of your biggest fans, where they're like, heart, 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 you've liked all of her stuff. So she just has such great information. So without further ado, I'll just go ahead and introduce her. This is Hope Brandt. And Hope has just all the answers we're going to need today. So we're going to jump in. Hope, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you've got going on and why I'm such a fan of yours.
Well, thanks, Edna. First of all, I'm so flattered. So like you're saying, my name is Hope Brandt. I'm a registered dietitian. I own my own nutrition, coaching, and wellness education business. So a lot of what that looks like is posting content on social media, doing interviews like this, doing segments on local news and for different products. So
do you ever call yourself an influencer?
I don't.
I think she's an influencer. Yay! My first here on the podcast, so I'm super excited.
I went to an event in the fall where they were, they categorized us as nutrition influencers, and it still was like, I don't know. I don't know if I identify as that. I feel like I look at myself more as a teacher than an influencer.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And that's funny. That was like my first original career goals. I wanted to be an English teacher. I love reading and writing, which is why I originally went into mass communication, journalism.
Right, journalism. Yeah.
So I have a degree in that as well.
Okay.
And then my husband and I moved to Tahlequah, and
which is how I met you.
Yes. And helped us purchase our first house recently, and we're loving it. It's where we're going to bring our baby home.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I didn't know if that was a public information yet, so that's public. Okay.
Yeah.
First child. Yes.
First baby. I'm due in June. So I'm a little, just slightly over halfway at this point.
Oh gosh, you look great.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's fantastic.
It's been a learning experience for sure. One of those things where I feel like a theme of my life is like continuing to be humbled by different experiences where you gain this perspective that you didn't even know you were missing. And so many things have continued to happen where, it's just life is a learning experience, and going through these big life events just continues to change my perspective on everything, but I love it.
Yes, I love that. And here's the thing, so this is obviously How to Real Estate, an episode, but as you guys have watched, I bring on people who will help us be better in all aspects of our lives. And what I'm hearing you say, which I absolutely love because I believe the same thing, you're an expert in your field, but you're constantly learning new things from new experiences.
For sure.
And I think that's what makes you an expert. Is anyone out there who says, I have all of the answers, I would run the other way.
Immediately no. Especially in nutrition, because it is, compared to other things, like physics or chemistry, it's a fairly new science. Yeah. And so we're learning new things literally on a weekly basis. And so there are things that might be considered fact now that 5 years from now you circle back and you're like, this is wrong. I was wrong.
I think we've all been there.
Yes. And so I think being able to find someone who's willing to come back, admit when they're wrong, and not see that as a shortcoming, but that's a win for everybody.
Absolutely.
Because now you know more and you can give other people more accurate information.
Yeah. So the name of your business is Hopewell. So
Hopewell Health. Yes.
Hopewell Health. So tell us how did that come about? And
I was brainstorming and wanted to incorporate Hope, my name, in some way. And actually my friend Jen, who is so creative and has a billion ideas, we were kind of like chatting through what we wanted to call my business and thinking about it. This was before I even graduated school. And she said, Hopewell Health. And it just had a ring to it that
That's
I
when
really
you
liked.
know.
Yeah.
Yes. Shout out to Jen.
Yes.
Good job.
And the rest is history. I didn't want it to be like super cheesy, like hopeful nutrition or something like that. And then it just needed to have I don't know, the vibe that we were looking for. So she said
Okay.
Hopewell, and immediately it was like, yes, that's it.
You just kind of know when you know.
Mhm,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. So you're not a Tahlequah hometown girl, because I know that you moved in from out of area.
Yes.
So how did you end up in Tahlequah? What brought you here?
Right. So I am from Louisiana originally. My husband and I met at LSU. And then we moved to Texas. That's where he's from. So we were in Texas at the time, and we were both just not super pleased with the jobs that we were at. We were kind of just looking for a change. And a couple of jobs in Tahlequah presented themselves through mutual connections. And so we both took jobs at the same company. And so
Oh, wow.
my husband is still working there in sales currently, but I was working there in marketing.
Oh, that makes sense. Yes. Okay.
So that's kind of where I got my feet wet with, I was helping kind of establish an online presence of a plant brand.
Okay.
And so I learned a lot about being on social media, how to interact as a brand, how to kind of, I don't know, get your creative juices flowing, what works on social media, what doesn't.
Yeah.
And from that point, once I kind of got a taste of that creativity and autonomy and being able to create things, it was, I mean, from that point on, I knew I just couldn't do anything else. And I wanted to do it for myself.
Oh, that's great. And
And
so
so,
did you have a journey with your health yourself that kind of fed
yes.
into that passion?
So, simultaneously, as we moved from Texas to Tahlequah, we knew our one friend, and he ended up moving, a couple years after we got here. So, we were pretty isolated, alone.
Oh my goodness.
And I just found myself with kind of more free time on my hands, after work, before work. And so it really, I started to learn how to cook and thought, if I'm going to spend all this time cooking, I might as well make it something that's going to be good for us. And once I made the connection between how the food you eat makes you feel, it was just endless fascination from that point. I just couldn't. It seems so simple. It's like, how do you not recognize that what you eat is, being used as fuel in your body? But until that point, I had never really made that connection. And so it was deep dives into nutrition, podcasts, and blogs, and all these things, and honestly, places that I probably wouldn't recommend.
Oh no.
You get your
Right.
nutrition
Yeah.
information. But I feel like when a lot of people start on their journey, including me, you're
Absolutely.
looking for those things that are really kind of mind blowing and like, wow, like these nutrients do this. And it's cool to see all that stuff and look at it in isolation. I've since come to really focus on the very big picture of what we're doing and how things work in the context of your overall habits. But
So you just went from maybe eating junk food to really drilling in and becoming.
exactly.
Yeah.
So honestly, that was basically the progression. It was just eating out almost, every dinner all the time, and then a mass reduction of eating out and then cooking at home, increasing fruit and vegetable intake. And it absolutely completely changed the way I felt physically. I wasn't hitting that afternoon crash. It wasn't like I wasn't waking up in the morning feeling like poofy and heavy and all of the things. And so it's like, this is amazing. And then, within months of continuing to be consistent with those habits, you look in the mirror like, holy cow, like my body has changed. I need to buy new clothes. My clothes don't fit. And so it was just one of those life-changing transitions that made me think, okay, this is the thing that I think that I can be interested in forever, that I know a lot of people struggle with as well.
Oh, yeah,
And
sure.
I went through the struggle. And so it was just light bulb moment of, okay, this is the thing that I think I can turn into a business that will also be my passion. Um, and then we started looking at schools, and NSU was literally right down the road, had a dietetics degree, and
It just kind of all fell into
yeah,
place.
I
Yeah.
truly think that it was meant to be. So,
Okay. Well, I love that. And one of the reasons she's my girl crush is there's some stuff on her site, and I really want you guys to. We'll put your links down below so everybody can go check it out. But obviously, I know Hope and her husband from helping them purchase a home and then following through social media and everything. And you had shared a little bit of your journey in the process, but I didn't really realize how significant it was, you know. But what I absolutely love is you really drill down on body image. And then my three favorite things here: encouragement, example, and education. My heart. You got me right there. I mean, to encourage other women, and it doesn't have to be women, but and to talk about body image and to re-educate, I just think that all comes together, and that's so important. So, tell us a little bit about that process and how you do that.
yes. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, the body image component is something that can be difficult to talk about because it's one of those things that I think everyone has their own personal struggles with it. And so, kind of walking the line of being very open and honest about your own experience while not, oversharing and crossing your own personal boundaries can
Absolutely.
be difficult. But I think one of the biggest things that was kind of a revelation when I continued to learn about body image and how it impacts our behavior is that your body image is your perception of yourself. It's more about what's happening in your mind than what is physically being seen by you or someone else. And so once we learn the tools that can kind of shift our perception of ourselves, then that's going to improve your body image regardless of if you see your size change or your body change at all. And to me, that's absolutely incredible that it's truly in your mind and there are things that you can do outside of trying to lose weight or trying to change your body that can improve the way you feel about yourself.
Absolutely. I think and I just love it's almost like an empowerment. Do you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Of giving people the mindset of being able to change that. So I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely love that. Now, what is a PEC? PEC.
Yes.
That is all over all of your stuff. Now, obviously, I know, but I thought that was very, just a great way to break it down. I love that.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah.
Okay, so a PEC plate is my kind of framework for creating a balanced, nourishing, and satisfying meal. So,
Now, I have to tell you, when I first saw PEC pics,
yeah.
I was like, is she really going to show us her pecs? I mean, what is happening here? What is going on?
I know. Well, one of the very first, I think there's nothing else under that hashtag except my PEC plates, but there's one picture of like this very buff workout lady
Oh,
who's showing her back
oh, that's
muscles. I
funny.
was
I
like,
don't
oh
think I
gosh.
saw that.
Oh, it's years old at
Okay,
this point,
okay,
but
good.
that always cracks me up. But no, so in my mind, I pronounce it PEC, but
Oh,
you
okay,
can
so you
say
don't say PEC, you say
yes.
PEC. Okay, good. That makes more sense. Okay.
But it stands for protein, energy, and color. And so those are the categories that we want to have on our plate for the majority of our meals. We're not looking for perfection ever, but if we can focus on that when those components are within our control to add to our plates, that's like when you're cooking at home, when you have those options at a restaurant, you're setting yourself up to create a really good baseline of foundational nutrition habits. So with protein, we're looking for the obvious sources, things like lean meats. But if you are a plant-based eater, things like tofu or tempeh, I always wonder if I say that right, but we're just gonna go with
Potato,
it.
potato.
Yeah. And then for energy, that comprises carbohydrates and fats. So those are the two macronutrients that give our body the energy that we use to complete our daily functions. So carbohydrates give us quicker, more burst of energy, and fats give us longer lasting, slower absorbed energy. So both of those components are very important to create a balanced energy category. And then color is our fruits and vegetables. And I am of the belief, and I talk about this all the time, that you literally cannot eat too many fruits and vegetables. And I hear a lot of people who don't
Because
want to eat fruit.
sometimes gets a bad rap.
Yes,
Yeah.
with the sugar content and especially with kind of the
But you're talking whole fruits.
Whole
You're not
fruits.
canned or
yes. Well,
or-
and even things like canned and frozen, especially canned, you want to make sure like if it's the little like mandarin oranges
Oh, right.
packets and stuff, look for the kind that doesn't have the added sugar.
Okay.
But even with canned and frozen fruits and vegetables, a lot of times they are canned or frozen at the peak of ripeness and freshness.
Makes sense, yeah.
So sometimes when you're out of season, those things can be more nutritious
yeah.
than buying like, out of season blueberries or whatever you see at the store. So not to say either one is better or worse, but those are always an option.
Okay. I like that. So
Mm-hmm.
protein, energy, and color.
Yes.
PEC, not
color.
PEC.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. So the other thing that I really love on your site is you talk about everyone is smart, capable, and talented. And again, I think it all just comes back to you're really changing people's mindset about themselves so that they understand they're not just the body, but they're the mind also.
Yes.
And I love that.
Well, and a big point of that is to have people feel that way so that it's not me, the guru, telling you what to do. This is a learning experience on both ends. So it's your job to take ownership of your choices and be able to implement the information. I say this all, I'm here to encourage and educate. I'm not here to tell you what to do. That's your job to make your own choices based on what you need in the moment. And so with embodying the belief that you are smart, you're capable, you don't need me, you just need the right information to make the choice that's best for you.
Yeah. So I work with mentoring some realtors, and what I try to do is help them skip all of the mistakes I made by educating them. And so that's kind of what you're doing.
Yes.
You're like, look, I had this long journey of
Yes.
maybe going to the wrong sites and figuring out that's not correct,
Yes.
So really you're just empowering them by educating them. And let's see, it was encourage, be an example, and educate. And so I love those three. So
Thank you.
That's awesome. So definitely everybody needs to go to your site and check it out. Now, do you do individual? Okay, so tell us about that.
Yes. Okay, so my services are kind of broken down just by intensity of like hands-on and education. So I have an ebook that I just released in January.
We have our first author.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us the name of the book.
It's called 7 Days of Simple Meals, and it includes nutrition and education, all about PEC plates, and then my other little shtick, 2 max snacks. It's a combination of 2 macronutrients to make a snack. So again, just looking for the balance that creates. So the book gives education about the pillars of a sustainable diet, PEC plates, 2 max snacks, and then it also gives an example meal plan for 7 days.
Oh, wow.
So it goes through, breakfast, lunch, dinner, 2 max snacks, the whole framework for 7 days, and then also provides a full grocery list.
I love that. I mean, because then you literally just hop on your local store, order the stuff, pick it up, and you have no excuses that way.
And it's categorized by protein, energy, and color, which is how I like to organize my grocery list too, which makes it really easy to just mix and match, make sure you have all the components on hand. And then it includes pantry, freezer, and refrigerator staples too that I just like to, again, have on hand. Make sure you're stocked well to make those balanced meals all week long. So,
And so ebook, is it on Kindle?
um, it is not. It's just hosted through my coaching
Okay,
site.
so we would go to your site to order it. Okay,
Yes, so it's
awesome.
linked
Yes.
in my Instagram bio. And then I have a course, and it's called the Hopewell Approach, which is what I call my coaching method. So it's an 8-week self-paced online course where you go through 8 modules and do a handout that kind of walks you through the basic principles of that lesson and then how to apply those in your life. And then I also do individual nutrition consults, which would be for
great.
literally anyone. If you're wondering if you're eating enough protein, if you're wondering literally where to start, how to make a grocery list, if you're having gut issues, if there's anything that's going on where you want expert insight guidance, those are individual nutrition consults. And then within 24 hours of our call, you will get a PDF that kind of lays out the plan of action moving forward. So those are super valuable. And then I also do one-on-one nutrition coaching, which is my big kind of bread and butter item. And it's a longer time commitment, but this is where we see the life transformations taking place.
Life transformations.
Which I know sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I what I love about nutrition and being a nutrition coach is that the principles that you can learn through making consistent change in your nutrition habits, they don't just apply to nutrition. They can translate to the rest of your life as well. So we talk about breaking the all or nothing mindset where, you think if I can't give it 1,000%, if I can't make an A+, then I shouldn't even try. And that's not true at all, right? There's so much room in the middle. So we talk about something always being better than nothing, and how to be truly consistent and how to break through your own mental resistance to set up those habits in a way that are going to work for you long term. So it's extremely individualized, personalized, and very personal. So that's why I only take women for one-on-one coaching, because we do talk about things like body image, things like emotional eating. That can be
hormones.
I mean, all the things that are personal to talk about.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
That's very hands-on.
And at the end of the day, guys, you've got nothing to lose. I mean, try it. Because what I see is so many people try, they click on the stranger someplace and, there is no quick fix, right? And it has to be, you have to re-educate yourself and you have to fix that mindset. And I'm a huge believer in coaches. I have a coach for every aspect of my life right now. So I think it's an awesome idea.
Yeah. Well, and just like you were saying, it's so important to learn from people who are where you want to be.
Yes.
And it's not because, but
I love it more that you were not always there. Does that make sense?
Definitely not. Yes.
You know what I mean? I want someone who actually went through the struggle and and then got there and then can show me how to skip some of the hard part.
Yes.
I mean, you can't skip it all, but
right.
Yeah.
No. Well, and this is kind of a foundational principle that we talk about as well, is setting realistic expectations for what the journey is going to look like. And so I tell all of my clients all the time that it's going to take time. It's going to take effort, and you are going to make mistakes. And I'm going to make mistakes. We're all going to make mistakes. So
things happen.
The sooner we can accept that it's going to take time and it's going to take effort and we're going to have to overcome our mistakes, then the more consistent we're going to be able to be with continuing to show up with the effort and the resilience that we need to end up where we want to be at by the end of it.
Love that. And guys, her site actually, I mean, she gives you a lot of stuff for free. There's a lot of really great
Yeah.
recipes on there. And
Oh, I love doing recipes.
oh my goodness, I was like, I was getting really hungry watching. They looked so good. They did not look like diet food. So
No.
I didn't see anything on there that looked diety.
Well, and another foundational principle that we talk about is enjoying the food that you're eating. And I think you're exactly right. So many people have the misconception that if you are trying to eat healthy, you're going to hate what you're eating.
Yeah.
And that does not have to be the case at all. There's no need to restrict any certain food group or any certain food that you love. If you love ice cream, we will find a way to work ice cream into your diet that still works for you, that aligns with the goals that you have. Now, we might have to adjust the frequency or the context that it's in, yeah. But we can still include it in a way that's going to help you get to your goals.
I love that. I love that. Now, because I do kind of a deep dive on everyone's social media, I have to ask, who is Tobias? Tobias. Tell us about Tobias, because maybe that's really where my crush is.
I know. That's the real reason anyone follows me on social media. Tobias is our French Bulldog, and he is an absolute character.
Cute. Oh my goodness.
He is the best. He taught us, how to be parents. He was our first baby. So, I mean, like my brother and sister have kids, and we were talking about how we have the house set up for Tobias, and like we have to close all the doors when we leave and not leave anything on the ground that he can get into, because even as an 8-year-old dog, he's still.
Oh, is he 8?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
But he still looks and acts
like a puppy,
an adolescent.
Yeah.
And she was saying, like, wow, I mean, you've just baby-proofed your house. I'm like, oh, one less thing we have to do. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So definitely check out Tobias on her social media too.
He's the cutest.
Yeah. Now, what do you think is the best source for people to find you and to start like following you? Because what I think is people have like a favorite that they put themselves out there more, and then everyone will start seeing you and to know you is to like you and then to trust you, and then maybe they'll reach out. What's your
Instagram
favorite?
is my favorite
Okay.
platform to be on for sure. I'm delving into TikTok, and I also have a Facebook page.
Okay.
But Instagram is definitely kind of where I show up more, where I'm answering questions and comments and DMing and being on stories. So, and stories is the real life. If you want to see
yeah, I think we all
what's actually going on, yeah. I really, really make it a point to like not use filters, not beautify everything, and show up as a real human being all the time.
I think that's so amazing, especially in the industry that you're in, that you're showing the real deal. You know what I mean?
And it's not, like nobility. It's for a reason, which is, helping change body image perception. Because, I want to swipe over and use that Paris filter. I'm looking, I'm like seeing some wrinkles on my forehead, but that's not a real face. And the more you see those images that are manipulated and not indicative of what reality looks like, the more your perception of your own body gets warped.
And so from that perspective, but that's true. Yeah, I was thinking of it more from how other people will relate to themselves from seeing you on there every day looking perfect, then it would make the but I see it could actually affect yourself on your own self-image. Okay.
And so that's the driving ideal behind it, because I think it truly makes such a difference, especially when you're on social media, because we're on social media, like it's just part of life.
We do
now. And so one of the biggest things that I kind of talk about when we're looking at tangible action you can take to improve your body image is assessing who you're following and how it makes you feel when you see their content. And if it's making you insecure, making you question how your own body looks, making you think you're not good enough, then those are all kind of red flags for me that maybe we need to decrease consumption of that content and find some other things where maybe diversity, where you can see yourself reflected and think, oh, she's out there doing it, and she's got some rolls and her body doesn't look perfect, and look, she's doing box jumps or whatever it is, and it helps you be able to have the courage to do that yourself.
I love that. Yeah, and I do think it's super, super important. So Instagram is going to be the best way for people to reach out. Start
Yes.
following her on Instagram, and then I believe that I just Googled your name and came up with the Hopewell. But is it Hopewell?
Hopewell Health.
Hopewell Health.
And hopewellhealth.online is my website.
Okay, but that's in the Instagram. Okay, and again, we'll put that below also. Now, what we like to do is, while we've got guests in here, because it's about real estate at the end of the day. If money were no object and you could buy your dream home tomorrow, what's the 3 things that dream home would have to have?
So, first, I'm in the kitchen a lot. I need a big sink. I want like a big double farmhouse, deep sink, because honestly, that might not help me. Maybe the dishes would get even more out of hand.
I did see like one of your intro was about ignoring the dishes in the sink while I get on with life, and I was like, yes. It just let you put more dishes in that sink, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you need to have 2 dishwashers in your dream home.
Oh, you're right. Ooh, that's such a good one.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I will take that all day. We can just say one huge double sink
and
2 dishwashers. Love that.
Okay.
And then a pool with a nice patio. I am obsessed with summertime and being in the sun, which, don't come at me, skincare people.
That's a different department.
No, it's not my area of expertise. I'm getting my vitamin D, okay?
There you go.
So, I call myself a lizard in the summertime just because I truly make it a point to be outside every day. It makes me so happy. So yeah, a pool with a nice patio and maybe a waterfall, the
noise,
the ambient noise, yeah.
Okay. So sink, pool, what's the third one?
We're just kind of more about making gathering spaces outdoors than having something inside. So I think like a fire pit or just some type of like big garden with a nice path, like something where you can enjoy your time outside, a swing.
You know what I thought you were going to say, is some kind of a gym. I love that you didn't say that. I love that you didn't say that. Obviously, yes, you'd probably want a gym, but I love that was one of your top
maintenance gym person ever, because it goes back to just make it work with what you have. And so I will like work out in my pajamas, barefoot, with my like 2 adjustable dumbbells, and like that's what we use. So
so you're not a big subscriber and having to have the full gym, and you can make
definitely not. That would be amazing to have access to that, but no, I would say I'm very minimalist as far as that type of equipment goes, because you want it to be accessible. Not like, who has the space and the money to have
do
that type of gym?
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so the dream home, farm sink, 2 dishwashers, swimming pool, and then an amazing outdoor.
Yes.
Yeah, I love. Have you seen the swings that are like face each other? It's almost in an octagonal thing around the fire pit. It is so cute. Seriously, we had one last year for sale. If anybody wants to sell one, give me a call. We'll help you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see you would love that. So well, I am so excited that you agreed to come on today. I hope that the followers will click on and see what you've got, because I think it's really, really, really helpful and great information. And guys, she's local, so you don't have to click on someone in another state that you've never met and you're not really sure what they're all about. You've got someone here who, and what I love is you're also involved in a lot of the local women's projects. And so there's a couple of, like the chamber does the women's meeting, and you've been on the forum there a few times. So guys, she's for real. She's Even though she's an influencer, she's local, and I love that. So be sure, guys, to like, follow, and subscribe, and then check out Hope's pages. Her links will be below. And anything else we should add or any additional information we need to throw out there?
I mean, I'm just so thankful for the opportunity. I really appreciate you inviting me on, Edna. I mean, I feel like you're a literal pillar of the community,
Oh,
and
gosh.
so when we think of Tahlequah, it's like, oh, like Edna's gonna know what's going on. So just
The knowledge
thank
broker when it comes to real estate, the knowledge broker when it comes to nutrition.
Yeah.
How about that? We'll go with that.
Yes.
So, well, I am so glad that you came on. We're really excited to follow your journey because I'm sure now that you're pregnant, that's going to change and you're going to have new information.
Yes.
And it's public now that my daughter has just announced that she's pregnant also. So I was telling her about you, and so now that it's public that you're expecting, she'll be able to follow you and get some great ideas.
2023 is a baby boom year. I'm
really
telling
is.
you.
You're correct. That is true. I'm seeing that. So I suspect we'll have a lot of people needing to upsize their houses. See, it always
Yes,
goes back to real estate. So, well, thank you so much for coming on. We really enjoyed it. Everyone, thank you for watching this episode. If you would like to be a guest or you have an idea of someone that we should have on as a guest, please reach out. And again, thanks for watching. Bye.